I mean, it sounds funny, but the students, I think it's all about, the students and hearing from them, really when we when early on in the program, we learned that it's just not, of course, we offer a GED program, we offer educational supports. But one thing that we realized very quickly was that it's much more than that, for these guys. I never forget, man. It was really like early on we started and it was around the time Trayvon Martin passed. This was a big thing. We were scheduled to have this big, our first parenting workshop, which we incorporate this parenting component within our educational piece. Each week we have like one day or within one day we have this parenting workshop in addition to some educational components. But we come together and we usually talk about things, values and who do we want to be as parents? What do we want for our children? And we still have those conversations today, and they're really great and enlightening. It helps bring the found that it helps bring the class together even more. Teach math all day, but it's something special that we all, you know, are a part of. This fatherhood thing. But this day, after Trayvon Martin passed, it was something in the room. It was just something that we weren't necessarily like not going to talk about it, but I don't know, it wasn't on the front of mind. We're so like, you know, we're so focused on like, we have to get this workshop together, this parenting workshop, so we could talk about these other things. But we noticed there was something going on, and one of the young men had a um a chain around his neck with a face on it, and we were like, hey brother, what's that? And he said, one of my friends passed away. Well, one of my friends was murdered, and I wear this chain, to represent, him. And wow, with so much going on in the world at the time in connection with what he was going through, it opened up this really needed discussion um to replace what we were originally going to talk about that day, which just kind of was technically in connection with that anyway. We're speaking about ourselves and how do we see ourselves as fathers and men. Uh, but it allowed other guys to come forward and speak about similar instances that occurred in their life. And it meant something to us. My colleague and I, we did we conducted those groups at the time, and we were like, oh yeah, this we have to allow for this conversation to take place and allow this. We felt honored that they felt like this place, and it hadn't been that many weeks that were here. This is a new group for the most part, but they felt safe in this space, which a space in an institution that they may not always have felt comfortable entering. So that was a pivotal moment where we were like, wow, this is not that we're gonna, fully go away from our original curriculum and all that, but we need to allow for space and allow for these young men to be, themselves and speak about things that they're going through. And it's not often that as a young man growing up, it's not a whole lot of spaces where you may feel comfortable enough to be so vulnerable. And but that switch, for us, that change, excuse me, that it wasn't all about us. It's about them. So we make it a point to you know ask them, something simple as how was your day, can go a long way. And I think when designing these programs, we have to, speak to the people we're designing them for. They have to be a part of the creation process. Um, even to this day, we have our mentors are a part of, these are young men who went through the program and currently college students. We ask their opinion. We have former students on staff, and we have our students that we're still like, hey, you know, whether it's through a survey or just a conversation, does this working for you? What do you think about this? Or, you know, what do we have to add? And times are changing, so it's even probably more important. Like, hey, with this AI and all this stuff coming in, like, what do we, what can we do to, you know, because that stuff isn't going away. What can we do to provide you the best experience as we can, um you know maybe using some of these things as well as video. I know we were just having a discussion today about the use of video and how can we add to what we're doing already, incorporating some different video clips, because we're noticing our students are, some of them may be more visual, you know so yeah. And when creating programs, I think we have to include the people that we're creating this for. I think that's incredibly important, um and it's definitely helped guided us through the years.